This week's topic is going to be benefits of walking. My name is Kristyn Radford. I'm a physical therapist out of our Batavia office, and I'm also the pediatric physical therapist for Leroy Schools. I graduated from Damon College in 2017 and have been with Village Physical Therapy since November of 2017. So first, we're going to look at why walk. There's so many different benefits of walking. I'm sure a lot of you guys can come up with different ideas as far as what those benefits are. So you guys can think of those, and then we're going to go through many of the benefits on the next few slides. So statistics, only about 48% of adults get enough aerobic exercise or physical activity to improve their overall health. 6 in 10 adults report walking for transportation, for fun, relaxation, exercise, or activities such as walking their dog. And the average American, studies have shown the average American gains 2.2 pounds a year in middle age. So those are all things to kind of keep in mind as we're going through the slides on the benefits of walking. So one of the big benefits is walking can help to improve your heart and lung fitness. So your cardiovascular, meaning heart, and pulmonary, meaning lungs. So any aerobic exercise, today we're just going to focus primarily on walking, can help to improve heart and lung function. It improves your heart's ability to send blood and oxygen to your muscles. And lung capacity can be controlled and improved by up to 15% through walking or other aerobic exercise as well. So improved endurance and reduced breathlessness is also a benefit because that increases your overall oxygen, which can help you to be able to do things longer without feeling so out of breath afterwards. Walking can help to decrease your risk of heart disease and stroke. So studies have shown that the amount of walking in people that are at risk or at higher risk of heart disease tends to decrease as their risk of heart disease increases. So those who should be getting more physical activity are shown to just not get as much as they should be. Women who walk 2 or more hours a week can decrease their chance of stroke by 30%, and men who walk 1 hour on most days of the week can decrease their chance of stroke by 10%. These statistics were both taken from 2 different studies, so that's why they're not comparable as far as hours and days of the week and how much you should be walking, men versus women. So this can kind of tie back into that last slide that we talked about, just increasing your pulmonary and your cardiovascular health can help to decrease that risk of heart disease and stroke. Walking can improve certain high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, and high cholesterol. So not necessarily help to eliminate them, but can help to control them or manage them better. So walking briskly for 30 to 45 minutes a day can lower your blood pressure by about 10 points. So briskly is defined as increasing your heart rate 70% of its max. So basically what that means is you're out walking and you're getting that heart rate up. So not just kind of a leisurely walk. You want to definitely be making sure that your heart rate is increasing to really get that benefit. Walking after meals can help reduce post-meal blood glucose levels. And it was shown that walking after dinner can be more beneficial than other meals, which might just be related to what people would typically eat for dinner versus what they would have for breakfast or lunch. Sometimes dinner is the biggest meal of the day, which can kind of affect that blood glucose level afterwards. And this was shown in type 2 diabetes. There's not much research on type 1 diabetes and the benefit of walking. A lot of it's more on that type 2 diabetes, which can be controlled and managed with the walking. Walking can help build your strength, improve flexibility, and reduce joint pain, which can definitely be beneficial if you do have arthritis, especially knee arthritis or hip arthritis. A lot of people feel walking can make it worse, which is not the case. It definitely can be painful to walk, especially if you have, that knee or hip arthritis, but it really can help to improve that strength. For example, if you are planning to have a hip replacement or a knee replacement, making sure that all the muscles surrounding that joint are strong prior to having surgery can help recovery. So you really want to make sure that if you can walk even just a little bit for some exercise prior to that, that can definitely help. And it can definitely help even if you're not going in for a replacement, just to get that joint moving and get those muscles moving as well. And moderate physical activity has been shown to raise your HDL, so that's your good cholesterol. And then you might hear of LDL, which is going to be the bad cholesterol. So one way that I look at that is H high, which is good, and then L low is bad. So again, that's moderate physical activity. So you want to be making sure that you're getting your heart rate up when you're doing that. Walking can help to build your lower extremity strength. Stronger legs typically means you are at a lower risk of falls. So walking alone might not be enough to help fully with that balance piece. There's different ways that you can incorporate strengthening and stretching into walking, or kind of change up how you're walking to help improve that balance and coordination. So heel toe walking, you can walk on your heels or on your tiptoes. You can sidestep or try walking backwards. The key with all of this, though, is to make sure that you're being safe and that you have someone close to you if needed. So a lot of this is going to be to help to improve balance. So you want to make sure that you have a stable surface. A big thing to remember is if you feel unsteady, to make sure that you have someone close to you, to make sure that if you were to reach for something, it's stable. So if you were to reach for something, I don't recommend a chair, just because if you start to go down, that chair is likely going to go down with you. So all of these things are definitely things that you can work on in physical therapy as well. And just working to help improve all of those pieces. Walking does burn calories. It's kind of dependent on that intensity and duration as far as being able to decrease that body fat and lose weight. It's been shown that the benefit of walking and losing weight or decreasing body fat has been highest in those who are heaviest. So it kind of is dependent on your weight to start off. So on average, controlling your weight, if that's what your goal is, 30 minutes can burn 150 calories. Again, that's going to be dependent upon your weight starting off. So on this next slide, we have a walking calorie calculator. So you can kind of see your weight and then the approximate calories that you would burn per mile. So it's just an approximate, but it kind of gives you a better idea if you're walking, 2 miles, how many calories on average that you're burning. Walking can help to improve your mood and your mental health. So walking, or really any type of physical activity, can help to improve or increase the production of endorphins. So endorphins are chemicals in the brain that help to reduce pain and discomfort, and then they trigger a positive feeling or response in the body. So one study that was looked at showed that walking for 1 hour a day decreased the chance of major depression by 26%. So that's a pretty decent decrease in that chance just walking for 1 hour a day. Activity can also help to decrease stress by relaxing muscles and reducing tension, and it can definitely serve as a distraction at times as well. A lot of people think, oh, I'm moving, it's going to be, the opposite of relaxing, and it's going to increase tension. Initially, it might be sore if you're not used to walking and you start walking, a half hour a day. But in the long run, once you get those muscles used to it, you're going to be able to reduce that tension in the muscles that's built up due to stress and all of that. And then sometimes just being outside, if you're walking outside, looking around at nature, it can help to just kind of turn your focus to something else instead of what's going on in your mind. So other benefits that we're not going to go into great detail with, it may help you to live longer. So if you kind of look back at all the different things that we just discussed as far as improving heart and lung function and fitness, and then helping with controlling certain diseases or helping to control weight, all of that added up can help big picture to help you live longer. It can help improve your circulation because it's getting you up and getting you moving. It allows you to do more longer. So if you're incorporating walking into your daily routine, it's keeping you up, it's keeping you moving, it's keeping you a little bit more flexible, keeping those legs stronger, and all of that can help you to do more for a longer period of time. It has been shown to lower risk of Alzheimer's. It can improve sleep and help to improve breathing, which we kind of touched on briefly on that side with the lung function. So a big question is, how much should you walk? So 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week is recommended. That helps to meet the 150-minute recommendation from the U.S. Department of Health. It can definitely be changed depending on the person. Not everybody can just go out and start walking 30 minutes a day. So we're going to get into on another slide how we can kind of change that up to still meet that 150-minute recommendation, but not go all at once. And then the big thing is that 10,000 steps a day. So it's not necessarily a minimum or a maximum. It's just kind of one way to look at getting that 150 minutes in and how they were breaking it down. There's definitely exceptions, especially those with underlying health conditions. It's definitely recommended that if you're planning on starting any new exercise routine that you talk over with your doctor first, just to make sure that it's okay, that you're healthy, and all of that. So if you do have certain underlying health conditions, that might change as far as that 150 minutes or that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So there's different ways to change up how you're walking. So one example, if you're not able to do that full 30 minutes in one bout, then you can definitely do shorter bouts. So you can do 10 minutes 3 times a day or 15 minutes 2 times a day. So you can definitely change it up. If you feel like you just can't go out for that 30 minutes, that's fine to do different intervals. So 10 minutes here, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 10 minutes at night, however it works out best for you. There's really no right or wrong answer. You can increase or decrease intensity. One big way to do, to add or increase that intensity would be hills. So if you have hills in a neighborhood, hills in a park, you can definitely increase that intensity by walking uphill. You can decrease intensity as well by keeping it on flatter ground. You can go down smaller hills. That will definitely help to decrease that intensity. So there's different ways that you can kind of play around with that. You can walk with hand weights to help increase that intensity. And there's, the increasing walking speed. So if you're walking at a faster pace, you can increase your duration. So walking for a longer period of time. Some people don't enjoy walking because it's just simply, boring or not fun. You definitely can walk with a friend. You can go to a park, kind of somewhere where you enjoy the scenery to kind of look around. Right now, they recommend being outside more than inside and keeping that distance. So you can definitely meet a friend up at a park or something like that and get some exercise in and catch up with a friend. So there's different ways that you can change it up, and it can definitely be something that's on the slide or something that works for you. You definitely want to stretch before and after you walk to loosen up your muscles and joints. Two areas that are especially important would be the calves and the thighs. So you definitely want to be sure that you're stretching those areas out before and after, making sure that it's not painful. So stretching, you should feel that stretch, but you don't want it to produce pain. If you do notice it's painful, then you would probably either back off on that, or if it's painful because of an injury or something like that, that's something that you might want to address with a physical therapist or your doctor, because stretching you definitely don't want to produce pain with. And then when stretching, you want to try to hold that stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. And typically, depending on the area that you're stretching, 3 to 5 times. Things to consider when you're walking. The big thing would be footwear. So if you're going out for that 30-minute walk, you want to make sure that you have something comfortable, but also something that is supportive. You don't want to wear flip-flops or something like that that can cause injury. It's not as stable, so if you're on an uneven surface, there's a greater chance of, fall. So you definitely want to make sure that you have something that's comfortable and supportive when you're walking. Even if you're just walking for that 10 minutes, you definitely still want something that's supportive on there. And then that also ties back with that balance piece. If there's any problems with balance, you definitely want to make sure that you have good supportive shoes on that will help that balance and not hurt that. Clothing, typically you want to wear something loose, something comfortable. Sometimes you see people working out in jeans, and if that works for you, that's fine. You don't want something that, you're 5 minutes into the walk and want to go home and change. So definitely consider what you're wearing prior to going out for your walk. Posture is huge. You definitely want to make sure that you're keeping these things in mind. You want your head up, looking forward. You don't want to look down. You want to be able to see what's coming in front of you. You want your neck and your shoulders relaxed. A lot of times people tense up in that area, and you want to make sure that that's all nice and relaxed, and that will help your arms to swing freely. You also want to make sure that you're tightening those stomach muscles, which will help keep your back straight and just really help to improve that posture. So that's definitely going to be important. You don't want those shoulders rounded. You don't want to be looking down. That can definitely be a safety issue. You want to make sure if there's something on the ground, you can see it. If there's something ahead of you, you don't want to trip over it. So those are definitely things to keep in mind. So how can you track steps? At this point, I feel like Fitbit is probably the most popular, someone that I hear about the most or see people wearing the most. So it's definitely a great way to keep track of steps. You can use a pedometer, which can be relatively cheap depending on the type of pedometer that you get. It just kind of clips on and can help keep track of those steps for you. There's different apps that you can use. All of these apps that are listed are free and can be used on Android or iPhone. So Google Fit, MyFitnessPal, Pedometer app, and the Pacer Health Pedometer. So some of these just track steps. Some of them also help to track calories. They help to track water intake, which are two things that you can also keep in mind if you're increasing the amount that you're walking. Definitely make sure that you're staying hydrated as well. So if you do have an app or a way to keep track of that, sometimes that can be good, just as a reminder to make sure you're getting that adequate hydration. So if you guys have any questions, my email was on one of the beginning slides. It's kristynr@villagefit.com, or you guys can contact one of our offices. So how can we help? So if you have an injury that's preventing you from walking, you can definitely give us a call and we'd be happy to help to try to get you back to walking. If you don't enjoy walking outside, or if you're having a hard time trying to find that place to walk, I know it's been a really hot summer and it just hasn't necessarily been enjoyable walking weather outside for a lot of people, or if you don't have a safe place to walk, we have fitness centers in both our Leroy and Gananda office, which have treadmills, ellipticals, and bikes that can help to keep you moving, kind of be alternatives to walking outside. Currently, our fitness centers are closed, but once we reopen, we'd love to have you guys come in and get moving. If you have any questions about anything that was discussed today, or if you'd like to make an appointment or kind of learn more about Village Fitness, you can contact our office, our Leroy office, our Gananda office, or Batavia office. You can also email info@villagefit.com, or you can visit our website and request an appointment if that is of interest to you. Direct access to physical therapy has been around since 2006 in New York State. This is where you can see a physical therapist directly without seeing a physician first to get a prescription. It is covered by most insurance companies. There are some limitations, so you can give us a call to see about those. And direct access will allow you to come in for 10 visits or 30 days, so whichever comes first, before you do need that prescription from a doctor. On this, so I'm going to skip one slide forward here. These are all references used in this presentation, so you can definitely go to one of these links to learn more about the things that we discussed today, or if you want to revisit anything, those are all links that were used in this presentation. So thank you guys so much for attending. I hope you guys learned more about the benefits of walking, and definitely feel free to give us a call or email us if you have any questions or are interested in coming in for PT or becoming a fitness member once we reopen.